Morning students, welcome back to the class 8 subject SS, and we have gone with the topic of history, chapter number 2, from trade to territory. As I have completed three parts till the Tipu Sultan concept, Tipu Sultan the Tiger of Mysore. In today's lecture we will be discussing about war with the Marathas and the claim of Paramountcy. Then, if time permits, then we will be looking into the doctrine of lapsing, and then setting up of new administration, which would be the last topic of yours. In that, we will be discussing a little bit of company's army, how it has been framed, how matchlocks are there, matchlocks are there. We will be discussing all the things in today's video, and if time permits, we will be disclosing this chapter, or we will be ending this chapter by today's video. If not, then we will be going with the part 5 and we will be starting further. So let's begin with the topic, war with the Marathas. Okay, East India Company is the one who have expanded their territories, but still there was a problem related to the different kingdoms, where we can say that the Marathas also think about to rule the Delhi. Agra and Delhi has to be ruled by the Marathas. They have fought different battles against Mughal and Mughal rulers, whereas in that we can say that the Britishers also had the power to start up all the things. So let's begin with the thing, war with the Maratha. As the first point, as I have already given you the notes says that after the defeat of the third battle of Panipat in 1761, they were divided into many states under the different chiefs. Chiefs means Sardar, belongs to the dynasties such as Sindhis, Holkar, Gaikwads and Bhosles. Third war of battle of Panipat, in that different Sardars were being happened, as it can be said that the Marathas who have fought the third battle in Panipat, they had a losing effect, they have lost the concept, and then different Sardars were being divided into the dynasties such as Sindhis, Holkars, Gaikwads and Bhosles were being divided into different dynasties. They have the alliances with the together with Peshwa, main person who is the principal minister of all these Holkars, Gaikwads, Bhosles and Sindhis. Everyone was under the management of Peshwa. Peshwa is aligned. Has been allied with the different groups. Anglo-Maratha wars were being fought by the company with the different areas. The first war was being occurred in the year 1782. According to this war, no one get clear victory, and between company and Marathas, one treaty was being signed, that is known as Treaty of Salbai, whereas no one won, but they have a settlements according to the need of their environment. Now let's begin with the second. The second Anglo-Maratha war was started in 1803 to 1805. It was resulted that British gained Odisha and the territories of northern Yamuna river, including Agra and Delhi. Again, the second war was being there against the Anglo-Maratha war was being conducted between Britishers and Marathas. In that, British resulted gaining different territories, Odisha, Yamuna river, including Agra and Delhi. Company has ultimately shown their power, but in the third Anglo-Maratha war, which was being conducted in 1817 to 79, the Maratha power was being totally crushed, and the Peshwas were removed, and company had now control all over the territories in south of Vidya. Then we can say that the ruling of Delhi, the thinking of Marathas who was thinking to rule in Delhi, they were being totally crushed. So because of company, the Maratha power was being destroyed, Peshwas was being removed, the Sardars were being punished, and company had a control over all the territories which are been framed by the Marathas or controlled by the Marathas. Next topic is related to the claim of paramountcy. As Lord Hastings, he was the Governor General from 1813 to 1823. For 10 years, Lord Hastings was the one who is governed in India, as he has introduced a new policy which is known as paramountcy, which includes with the power claiming its power to greater than the Indian estates. It was been said that no power can attack or control company. Company is having a greater power, greater responsibilities. They can handle any Indian kingdom. Then in order to protect the interest, it was just to be annexed or threatened to annex any Indian kingdom. What happens here? Whoever goes against king companies, then king was being provoked by the company. No one was listening to their decisions. Whatever the farmans, whatever the we can say judgments are being given towards company do not care about it. And then it was been said that in late 1830s the East India Company became worried about Russia. Russia might expand across the Asia and enter India from the northwest. As one side East India Company was trying to control India, whereas the Russian community has also annexed it till the end of our Indian boundary. They have attacked it till then. As we can say that Indian undivided India was been there at that time. They were nearby Afghanistan. Then they have fought to proclaim prolonged wars with the Afghanistan between 1838 to 1842 and established indirect control over company rule. Sindh was being taken over in 1843. Then we can say that after that the Punjab leader, whose name was Maharaja Ranjit Singh, no one was been able to defeat him. But after his death, the Sikh community or Sikh kingdom was also been annexed with the company's rule. So this kind of things are been there in claim of paramountcy. Then we will be discussing a little bit about the Doctrine of Lapson. In next video, we will be carrying forward the setting of new administration, and we will be discussing about the company's army. But in today's lecture, we will be discussing our third topic, the Doctrines of Lapson. The Doctrine of Lapson was been famous because the Lord Dalhousie, the Governor General from 1848 to 1856, derived a new policy which is also known as the Doctrine of Lapson. It was been declared that Indian ruler, if he dies, the male heir should be there. If he is not been there, then company will take over that kingdom. What happens here कि अगर एक राजा है तो राजा की औलाद जो है वो लड़का होना चाहिए. अगर वो लड़का है तो ही वो किंगडमशिप आगे बढ़ेगी. अगर वो लड़का नहीं है तो इंडियन रूलर्स जो मर चुके हैं उनकी जगह पे कंपनी उसको अपनी टेरिटरी बना देगी. तो ये एक पॉलिसी थी. इसके अगेंस्ट में वी कैन से रानी लक्ष्मीबाई और झांसी, he is also been the victim of this doctrine of lapsing. She fought, but she had fought in 1854, and after getting defeated, company has taken over that Jhansi. So many kingdoms were been annexed under the rule of doctrines of lapsing was been imposed at Satara, then Sabalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, then Jhansi, Awadh. Jhansi and Awadh was important because after Awadh 1856, many incident was been occurred as revolution was started. So because of that, the doctrine of lapsing was also been famous. Doctrine of lapsing was been given by Lord Dalhousie. Be careful with the objective based question. Okay, so in today's lecture this much is sufficient. In next lecture we will be discussing setting up new administration, and we will be discussing about the concept of company's army. That's it for today. Thank you.